Hi everyone, so it's still the middle of winter here. We're going through some old footage we shot last year. Last year we went into some mines in the Kootenays in the Silverton area, and we found a really cool ore cart. So it's kind of an interesting story. It was caved in, it was inside of a mine that was all collapsed. So we got out of there, and people are always asking me, how would you ever get that thing out of the mine and get it home? So we made a little video about how we winched this thing down the mountain, got it out of the mine, and we'll explain a little bit about this cart. We call the cart Tippy. It's a pretty cool little cart. It's a hand cart that was used. It's probably built around 1920 or so, so about 100 years old. We have some older carts, but this is a kind of a cute little cart, and we'll share the story about how we got it.
Chase, time's running out, and they're using live days. Streets infected and crawl in the slime. The neon nightmare is about to unwind.
This is a kind of a hand cart that was used by miners a long time ago. And it was almost like a wheel. They would use a wheelbarrow today, and it would went along the tracks in the mine, but it wouldn't have been pulled by a locomotive. So it's quite simple. This cart, the wheels are quite close together on it, so it's kind of a little tippy. But this one's a really nice shape. Most of them in the mines are pretty rusty. And we'll give you a little demo, and we'll show you how it works. So basically this, the miner, when it was full of ore, they would just push it along. It's got a latch on it here, so just undo the latch. Now this mine's got a couple different options. So this one does it, so that does the tailgate here, so it's got a little, give you a shot of the tailgate there. See the latch, it opens, this big handle and up. So, but that's the cool thing about this particular cart is it tips over, and there's your tailgate, but it gives you the option of you can turn this whole cart sideways also. So it'll turn this way. So if you're going down North Pass, needs a little grease, but you can actually tip it this way, or you can tip it the other way. So, so you got lots of options where. So it's a pretty versatile cart. You can tip it to this side or the other side. But this one's just in pristine condition. I mean, it's almost like it was new. Everything works perfectly on it, and it's not bent up or anything. So it's rare to see carts in that kind of condition. I think this cart is probably close to 100 years old. Let me show you the guts of it. It just has a big rod here. This big rod, that's just a big pin, and that comes out, and then the undercarriage and the top are two separate things. And this whole thing has grease fittings and everything in here, and it's all grease. You can grease everything. And very ruggedly built cart. Oh, we're at camp here today. We're up on a road close to Silverton, and what we decided to do today is we found this really cool mine cart, and it's going to be a little tough to get out. It's fair ways up the mountains. There's no roads anywhere near it, and it's jammed in a mine with a whole bunch of debris on top of it. Oh, I found this really cool mine shack, and surprise, surprise, I don't think there's any rats in the damn thing. So, well, I got a beautiful little, some firewood in here, mattress. Oh, yeah. Just a really cool little cabin. Warm up or something. Have lunch. So probably for skidooing, I guess, eh? Come in here and dry up. This would have been an old, some bedding in here. This definitely would have been an old skidooing or an old mining cabin. We found a mine, and I think it might be a real dandy. Now this is just a total fluke. We're up way in the middle of nowhere, and we saw some rocks, and we hiked around for a long time. We couldn't find a mine. We figured maybe there was a tramway into it. And then I just hiked down this other creek, and I looked across, and it looked like some pieces of wood, and it was actually part of a tramway. And hiked up there, looked at it, and then I saw some railway tracks, and this is where the road ends here for this guy. This is very old. I don't know, it's called a Jaguar 365. It's a great big compressor. There's no roads to get in here. I don't know how they would have got this up here, you know. And there's a mine here, so we're just looking at this. Probably been here since the 50s or before. Got a good tire on it, yeah. Something I just noticed, the tires on this compressor, they look like they're brand new. So I'll bet you this compressor is brand new when it was brought here. So have a look at that old girl, eh? So 6-volt power, pretty big compressor. Not really much of anything in there, a little bit of oil or something. A few spare parts. Alright, so we decided to suspend our exploring here for a couple of days, and we're on a kind of another pretty exciting project. We found this ore cart, and it's just probably the best ore cart that I've ever seen. It's just inside a mine, very well preserved, because it's kind of protected from the elements, and it's a fairly dry location. So this mine's caving in fast. It's just about all caved in. It's really soft material here. So we've decided we're going to try to pull this ore cart out, and we want to save it before it just becomes completely buried. It'd be just such a waste. It's in beautiful shape, but it's a big job. So hopefully we can get this out before we run out of beer. Well, we've got a couple days. We've got enough beer. Don't worry about it. But anyway, so we'll take you along. We'll show you what we're up against. Now, right behind me here, this is where the road is. They had a tramway to get this ore out. So what we've got to do is we've got to get this 500-pound cart down to that road down there. If you can see that road down there. So we're heading into this mine where that air compressor was, and the portal's a little plugged. Huh. Maybe we're not heading into this mine where the air compressor was. Holy. Yeah, there's a nice cart right there, and she's plugged, but I think we're going to be able to find a way around it. We'll see. So it's pretty skinny in here, but we decided we're going to go in anyhow. We're really just going to take our time. Make sure we don't touch any of these boards. Now, there's a lot of snow here in the wintertime, so in the wintertime, there would have been a lot of weight on this back here, so as long as we don't pull any supports out or anything, it's going to be a little tough getting in here, but I think we'll be just fine. Kind of, probably only the portal's blocked because it's got this loose material. Well, you can see they made this all out of cedar. So, we're not going to bring our backpack or anything in here. We're just going to take just an extra light and nothing else, and squeeze in here because she's pretty tight. Well, unfortunately, this is as far as we're going to get. Looks like. Yeah, she's just totally, I don't know what this wall was, but the tracks went this way. It looks like it's been just totally caved in or sealed off or something. I don't know. Ooh, pretty treacherous mine, there's no doubt about that. Maybe it went up from here. Yeah, looks like it did. But anyways, we can't get anywhere. She's pretty skinny in here. It's kind of open, just had to go a bit of a blockage and it would go way in, but wasn't the case. We're not having great luck with that. It's here, that wasn't added also, but it's all obviously completely caved in. So this is a portal that we're going to be pulling this cart out of, and you can see it's fairly collapsed. Collapsed more than there's tracks coming all the way out here. But the one good thing is there isn't really a lot of material up on top, so it's not really dangerous. Worst comes to worst, I mean, we just have to take all this material and shovel it completely out of here. So here's kind of a bit of a choke point here. We're not going to have to worry about it for a while because the cart's not going to fit through this part here. So we have a jack and stuff, so we can practice being miners and stuff. We can put some other supports and stuff up in here and hold it up. So this is what we're facing here. Couple problems. First of all, this cart is right full of ore, or 3/4 full of ore. So that's going to make it really heavy. So we're going to have to shovel all that out, clean it out. Hopefully we can open the end gate and get some of this stuff out of here. So we've got a bunch of material that's kind of holding it back a bit. There's not really that much material above us. So the problem is, I guess we got this guy here. But hopefully we can sneak this by here. We've got we got jacks and come alongs and stuff. We can sneak it by here, and then well, we'd only have the next part. See, we only got this next part to worry about. We need to get it by here, but there isn't a lot of material above that. So what we'll do is we'll try to pull it ahead as far as we can, and then we'll worry about getting by that choke point. So yeah, quite a bit of work ahead of us here. I've done lots of this kind of stuff. It sounds like it's just, you know, this looks like you think, how could you ever do this? But if you're smart and hard working and you have the tools and the technology, it can be done. The first thing we're able to do is unlatch the door and open the door, because luckily the end gate is from this side. So there's a latch for it. It still works perfectly. And shovel all the crap out of there. So we're going to shovel that out. Been shoveling it kind of to the behind and out of the way, and then we're going to hook a come along onto it and see if we can get past this timber. So we're making along pretty good here. We managed to clear this obstacle there and keep shoveling down. There's more and more stuff falling off the back as we pull it out because it's not very stable up there. So it's kind of filling our cart back up for us. But I just keep pulling along. It's coming along okay. Big timber we can pull out of there. And then we'll probably just have to keep kind of shoveling it down to drop it down to clear that. And then we just have this guy here to worry about. We might have to, I always wanted to work in a mine, you know, so we might actually have to cut some bracing and stuff. Use the jack and brace. If we take that brace down to get by there, it might all collapse on us. So even though there's not much material up there, we sure as heck don't want to have to move it all if it does collapse. So we'll see what happens. Well, she's coming right along, you know. It's almost like the old girl's trying to help us, you know, because it's got that bucket that tips back and up and forth, and it kind of squeezes back and forth and tips, and maybe she's tired of sitting in here. She wants to come out. Yeah, she just tipped her way sideways and back and forth, and watch it, and she'll just squeeze her way along there, eh? Just got that one last little obstacle there, and we're done. Just about out of the mine. I don't know where your new home will be. We've got a name for this cart. We call her Tippy. She's looking good. Tippy's coming. I think maybe she's going to be lighter than I thought. I thought maybe 500 pounds, but I'm thinking maybe only about 300 or so. So She's coming along good, but fortunately the weather's not really holding up for us. It's starting to rain. But that don't matter, we'll keep going. So we'll have one last look at Tippy's old home. That's where she was sitting in there, wedged up against some beams in there. And we got her out. Yeah. So there's a couple little odds and ends in here. There's some wedges the miners would have used to hold up timbering and stuff. So I don't think it'd be very much longer, and you know, there's not much in here. Should be totally collapsed. So this is the last mine in this area that I know of. This stuff's really crumbly, this material, so it's nasty. All the rest of them have all caved in. So yeah, pretty nice looking cart. Tippy's a good name because it's not hard to tip it. Those axles are so close together, if you just grab it like this, you can just flip it right over. So the other possible, I could have actually taken the top off and separated, made into two separate things, and then put it back together at the bottom, but I think we're just going to keep it together and transport it like that. So now the next challenge is going to be is get down this real steep bank, which you know, we got ropes and know-how and stuff. We need to get it to the bank and then over to the right and then down a steeper bank. So, but with the ropes and stuff, I'm sure we'll get her. Rather than trying to keep Tippy upright, so if she wants to tip, we'll let her tip. We'll just tie a rope onto the axle as we're getting down the steep part, and we got this old compressor here, so we'll just have the rope around there, and then I can just lower her down nice and gentle, and we'll see how that goes. I made it down the first stage, no issues at all, nice and gentle, just a couple gentle turns, and we're going to start grabbing our gear and start moving everything down the hill. We got her off this ledge here, pretty tough there. It's hung up on a lot of stuff. You know, we call her Tippy, but thinking of a couple other four-letter words as we're moving along, but it's actually coming along pretty good. So here's the plan. So we got it like that. We got to get it over quite a ways further, kind of on that ledge. So what we're going to do is we've got the long rope here. We'll find another anchor point, and we're just going to be like a pendulum, like we just did in this last set. So now we got to find some points further down there, probably that tree there, and we'll hook up to it and we'll just keep swinging it across, and we'll pendulum it over and down, and hopefully we'll get her. Well, everything's proceeding pretty good. It's just a real steep, nasty slope. If we could just go straight down, it'd be fine, but we can't, There's a creek here, so it's kind of really tricky setting this up and teetering it back and forth. But yeah, slow and steady wins the race. We got to go along this slope for fair ways yet, and then we can drop her down. Dropping it down is going to be really easy. We've just about done it here. It's just going awesome here. We've managed to get it across this real steep slope, and you know, it's all the hard work's done now. So we just have to go down to that road there, and we can grab it. So it's just a matter of actually lowering it down, tumbling it a little closer to that tree, straight down the bank, and then away she goes. Yeah, so it's going real easy here now. So what I do is I just tie this knot on my come along there, get out of the shade right there, and then I undo that. I got it there so I don't want it to slip. And then basically I just kind of kick it, push it down, and you know, just slowly lower it down. And you know, we really got her made. I mean, this just is a bit of a steep bank, a couple more rolls, and she's down there. So this went really good, and not really actually all that much threat to my beer supply. I mean, we're not even halfway through a six-pack and we got this done already. So we're almost down to the road here. So the major concern was I didn't want to lose control of the cart, because if I did and it slipped down into the creek, then we'd have a real problem. It's easy pushing a heavy weight downhill, pretty difficult fall, fighting gravity and having to pull it uphill. So I would say the next time I give you a little shot, we'll be on the road. Now we've got her on the road, so our biggest fear was that it would end up over the bank, but that didn't turn out. So this is why I had to bring it across that bank so far, because there's no way I wanted to bring that ore cart along there. Yeah, that's pretty nasty there, eh? So this worked out good. We got it sideways far enough and got it over there, and now we got the power of the quad that helped us, so not just bulwark. So between brains and horsepower, we'll get her out of here. Still not sure how this is going to work, but we have a hailstorm here, so I'm not sure if we want to hook it up real short, or the problem is it kind of tips up, eh? That's why they call her Tippy. So we'll just have to try this, and if it don't work, we'll make adjustments as we go, and hopefully it'll work. Well, that didn't work. As soon as we give her a little power, she just flipped right over. So I don't know, probably pulling from the bottom is not going to work that well. What we'll do is I'll run the rope through that handle on the top and see if that's going to keep it stable. I don't know. We'll figure something out. We made it. It wasn't pretty, but we just kind of drag it like this, and it was so rough here. So now all I gotta do is get a pickup down to here, and we'll winch it onto our pickup. Most people, like, this part of the road's not bad, but the other part is really narrow. Most people wouldn't drive a pickup along here, but this is a road that we got to go up to go grab our ore cart, and looks like just kind of a quad trail, but basically, it was a logging road a long time ago. It's just the vegetation is growing in there, so I'll just crunch right through there. We're not that worried about the paint on our truck. Everything's up to camera, but anyway, so we sucked it up in the back of the pickup, and we're gonna hook on the back of the trailer, and we're on our way.
Talk, cut to the chase. Time's running out, and they're using live bait. Streets infected.